the resume assignments we'll be doing for class next week, and you actually have until the last day of class to submit this. It is a lot of work, but I'm expecting to give you guys enough time frame to complete the assignment. The resumes and hacks is basically what I have uploaded for you guys already for this week. This chapter is creating a professional resume and cover letter, or a letter of interest. Use your resume as a marketing tool. Differentiate between two types of resumes. Recognize the value of professional portfolio. Prepare a winning resume, and of course we'll write the cover letter itself. A resume is a summary of your skills and qualifications that advertises what you have to offer an employer. It's exactly what the definition the book gives you. Here to the right, you'll see a breakdown of a resume. It talks about headings, margins, a clear font, the font size. This will be uploaded on your documents, so you have access to see this as well. The truth is, employers devote an average of 15 to 30 seconds when reading each resume. There is a current tool that also is, when you upload your resume, the tool will actually skim out and look for keywords for that actual job description. So if you have skills in data entry and you wrote that on somewhere in your resume and that's what they were pulling, then they will grab that from your resume. We want to talk about the actual look of the resume itself. There's a couple templates. I'm telling you about two here. One is Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word, if you're a Valley student and you have access to the library, which of course we don't right now, unless you have a Word at home, but I believe they might be keeping the library open for a couple students. I'm just not sure. That's the Microsoft Word. The Google, you can use from any Google Docs to create your resume or template. It's a free template. And you just go to resume and click template. The font style, make sure that it's not 16 or 20. Even 14 looks rather big. You want to keep it around 12. You want to make sure it's consistent. It's all around the same. You want the same size of font, not different font styles all throughout your resume. The margins, so make sure that there's double spaced here and then single space, and then you want to keep it all the same. And the length of the resume, you want to keep it about 1 page. So I'll go ahead and show you the template on Word. That's just a quick review of what it actually looks like. So I had a student one time turn in 4 boxes and they were filled in. So I just want to show you exactly what the look of it looks like. So that's the look of what it actually looks like. So let's talk about 3 of the 2 that I would want you to do is the one that is underlined, is the most used. But the 3 is, first is functional, so it's useful with limited work experience, emphasizing skills towards a specific job. So it's just basically skills based. So a lot of my students who are new to employment, just graduated high school, don't have that many experience with you, then you want to use this type of resume. So it just is skills based. Chronological is what I was saying before, is the most used. That's the one I actually use. is it's useful for long-term employment, meaning it's going to emphasize my experience without interruptions. So from this time to this time, this is what you completed, and you want to do the most recent first. And then you could do a combination. It's useful for major skills and functions, extensive work experience required for a specific position. So those are different formats that you can use. So at the top of the resume, here's an example. At the top of the resume, you want to make sure your name is bigger than everything else. That has to stand out, of course. You want them to know who you are, your current address, and if there's the same for mailing and permanent, that should be the same. This person just gave a current address, which is a P.O. box, and a permanent address. But if you use the same for both, then one address is fine. You could put all of this under one. Make sure your email is professional. So I don't want to see hotmama@gmail, but maybe your first name dot last name, or first name last name, or initials of your first name, and then maybe your favorite number, and then at Gmail, Yahoo, or wherever you can create a free email. So you want to just make sure that that is the first thing on your resume, is your name and contact information. Second thing, or you would want to have also as well on your resume, is education. So if there is education, and if it's recent. If it's not recent, or if there is not education, you do not want to put this on your resume. But if there is, like if you're currently attending Valley and you have 20 units behind you and you're working towards a certain degree, then yes, you can put this on your resume. If you just graduated high school, yes, you can also put it on your education. If you graduated high school 20 years ago and been working since then we want to keep this off of your resume because we don't want to date ourselves. So list primarily colleges and universities where you will receive or have received degree or credential certificates. This is also good for certificates as well. Listing the colleges where you attended briefly without completing degrees is optional. So example, like I was saying, if you went to a community college or you're going currently, I would only put if your GPA is above a 3.0. If it's not, then no, you don't need to put a GPA. If you're still in school, expected graduation date. So if you look to the right, I used an example. Actually, doesn't show. This is actually my example of mine. So it dates on there when the degree was attained. If it has not been obtained yet, then you want to put degree upon date, and then you'll put expected date. So expected graduation date, and you could put spring of 2021. So you're expected to graduate sometime next year. Okay. So you want to include some action words in your resume. These are a list of them. We'll go over a couple. Organized, analyzed, built, implemented, processed, controlled, improved, initiated. These are very strong words. Demonstrated, created, that you'd want to include in your resume. I give you a list of them. They're here. I also downloaded, I believe I downloaded this list as well on for your guys' review. There's a lot. Action verbs, list for your resume. So upgraded, verified, oversaw, participated, performed, calculated, coached, collaborated, collected, consulted, enforced, surveyed. So these are very strong words that you want to put into your resume. Some examples how to make your resume detailed. So when someone says, I need a detailed resume, then you'd want more emphasis on what you actually did. So before will be, I helped with a workshop at a conference I attended, or I helped clients with questions. That's not really detailed, right? So you want to be a little bit more detailed and put more emphasis. Effectively facilitated workshops on communication skills and assertiveness as part of regional conference schedules, creating an engaging educational experience for participants. That might be too much detail, but that is more detail than you just answered questions. Worked as a front desk supervisor. Instead, you can put supervised front desk operations for a 200-room, 4-star hotel, providing directions on 5 receptionists and 2 support staff, providing consistently excellent service to our clients. So that also talks about who was under the supervisor, other things that was had to do with the front desk. So not just saying that, oh, you were just a front desk supervisor or you were just working the front desk. No, I answer detailed questions on clients and customers, and so you want to be a little bit more in detail. In the experience portion of the resume, it should closely reflect your position you are applying for. Keywords from the job announcement. So like I was saying from the beginning, you want to take some of those from the job description or job announcements. You want to take those keywords that they're saying they're looking for. So if I'm looking for someone who has excellent communication skills and just anything that is on the job announcement, you want to pull those and put them in your resume. You're going to probably be looking at a couple different applications for the same position. So maybe if it's clerical, you're looking for front desk or clerical or any office, then look at those job descriptions and you can take from there and actually implement them into your resume if you've done them before. Of course, you don't want to be putting stuff that you've never done before because that's not good. So make sure that you have done that and you can actually put them into your resume. So here's my experience. I don't mind sharing it with you all. I think this is an older resume, actually uploaded way before. But this shows experience with related experience. So for my position, let's say for San Bernardino Valley, I'm the nursing counselor. I have very detailed on from the time that I began, and then you can see on the date where I began to present. So that's where you want to put in your resume. If you're currently there, then you want to put until present. And then you have a related experience. So if something is something related, that even though it's not, if you're going for a position and it's not the actual position that you have done before, but it's something related to. So for example, if I'm a nurse and I want this job as an RN, then, but I was an LVN, so that is related experience. So I was an LVN in the past and I've done that before, or vice versa. I was a certified nursing assistant and now I'm doing LVN, so that is related experience. It's all related. There's different sections that you can put on your resume. On my resume, I actually put on some memberships, skills. I believe skills is one of my top ones, and languages. So internships is also there. So if you speak another language fluently, you do want to include that on your resume. Skills is very important. You want to put that also as well on your resume. You could type maybe 65 words a minute. You are knowledgeable in Word, Excel, spreadsheets, PowerPoint, Zoom. All this stuff is very useful for the work world. And you want to include those as other additional sections. So building your resume is not just a one and done. You can't just do one resume and send them out to 50 places. So unfortunately, that's not how it works in the world of work. You want to make sure that once you have entered in all the information for your resume, that you have several people review them, including someone we have the Career Center. A resume will be one of many. So you'll have maybe if you're versatile and you are like, oh, I could do secretary work, I could do admin work, I could do receptionist work, I could do customer service work, maybe I could do that supervisorial work. So you want to have a couple for all of these that you're trying to apply for, because a lot of jobs is not just one job that, oh, I've actually done customer service, oh, that means I can't work in HR. No, that's not true. You could adjust your resume for maybe working in an environment like that. So now to go over the cover letter. Some people refer to the CV, which I'll break it down in just a moment. I just want to show to the right is just a picture I took off of Google Images. It's just one page, and it's very brief. It's addressed to the specific individual. So if someone told you about a job, let's say, hey, my friend is a supervisor at Nordstrom, and they're hiring. His name is so-and-so, and you can send him an email. Well, that's really good to know for your cover letter, because you want to address that person with the cover letter. Then you want to send this to that individual that they gave you the name, and then you will let them know how you received the information. So you'd want to refer to relevant experiences and accomplishments, and if asking for an interview, indicate when you will call to confirm a convenient time. You want to review for accuracy, and remember, just like your resume, you want to make sure it's for the individual job. So let's go over that in a little bit more detail. So you already seen the look of it, and now let's just break it into paragraphs. Or a paragraph doesn't mean you have to have 5 sentences, but you do want to break it up into sections. So in the first paragraph of your cover letter is, just like I was saying, is the interests of the position you're seeking. So let's go back to the example of our friend Steve at Nordstrom. So you want to say the cover letter, and you want to let Steve know that you're interested in the managerial position at Nordstrom Rack, and you were referred to by, if the person referred you, and you would let them know that so-and-so referred me, and you also want to let them know why you would be a good candidate in the first section. In the second area, or second paragraph, you're going to be a little bit more detailed about your current position and how it relates to the position you're going for. So describe your daily duties and tasks, and give details about any volunteer or yearly events. So this is stuff that you won't be able to put in your resume, but you can definitely put in your cover letter. So let's say I attend a yearly conference for the Cal States and the UCs to be more up to date on as a community college counselor. So that will be my yearly conferences that I attend. It could be different for everyone else. The position is relatable to the position you're applying for. So make sure that all these the event itself is also relevant. You don't want to say, yes, I went to these car shows twice a year, and they don't, it's not even for something like that. So you want to make sure it's professional and relatable to the position you're going for. Finally, the last paragraph is going to be your basic and straight to the point information. A thank you for your time, and you anticipate to hear from them. I can be reached at, and you want to give your phone number and email, everything like that at the end. Once you have completed your resume, I definitely, and this is what we will be doing soon after this week, we'll actually be creating LinkedIn accounts, because I do want you guys to be knowledgeable of actually what the LinkedIn world is about. You want to promote yourself, upload it. There is also Indeed. I'm not sure if Monster is big anymore, but there's also Monster as well. So you do want to promote yourself if you're out there looking for a position. So that concludes our resume lecture.